One of the capabilities of layout is you can import a section from a model and use it as a starting point for a 2D design. In this case, designing the outline for a new component in a 2D layout that can be referenced in the 3D model. Let's replace the gearbox housing component with a 2D model of a new housing component. Toggle to Layout. Click Import and select the gearbox assembly. The housing is missing in the assembly because it was hidden in Creo. I'll click OK to import section 1. Here we have our 2D geometry. I'll select it and rotate it 90 degrees. In the model tree area, we have different ways to organize the geometry. You can create a structure manually, or, in our case, a structure was imported with entities on each level that highlight like parts in an assembly. A structure is unique. An entity can belong to only one structure node. However, you can also create tags to organize entities, which are not unique. Items can belong to multiple tags, and you can control display similar to layers. Let's create a coordinate system. Hover here and create a center line that goes through the center of the chuck. Using a part of the gearbox rear as a reference, we can now place a referenced coordinate system. Let's sketch the new concept for housing. First, I'll hover to touch two lines as references. Sketch a horizontal line and complete the basic shape using guides. I'll then add a chamfer. And a small fillet. Let's deselect everything but the new component. A layout is a special file that can be opened in 2D, assembled into a 3D model, or brought in as a feature. To do this, I must assign the entities to be public. Select all, right-click, then select Add to Public. Toggle back to the gearbox assembly. Now, activate Gearbox Front New. Using Layout Feature, we will assemble the Layout1 CEM file using the coordinate system we referenced in the layout. We will now specify what layout components are to be referenced in the assembly. The layout is now a component in the assembly. You could now reference any of these curves to create geometry using standard tools such as Copy Geometry. Finally, let's window back to the layout. From here, we can change the radius of the fillet to a larger value. And if we return to the assembly, you can see Creo is notifying us of a change. And you can see our layout feature is indicating a change. There are various features that can be used to complete this change. We can now choose to update the model. If we build some geometry off the curves, the model would also update. And now you've seen how a 2D design and layout can be used to accelerate the design of a 3D model.